rights, and this is a very important topic to discuss. And here in South Sudan, it is very important for us to actually talk about the girl's child that have the right to education, safety, health, and freedom from discrimination. Now, yet in this country, early and forced marriages, gender-based violence, poverty, and cultural norms continue to deny many of these rights. So to shed more light on this, I'm joined live in the studio by Martin Maluk, who is the male champion Men for Women organization. It's good to have you with us in the studio for this extended afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you, Emmanuel, Joseph, Akile, and the listeners of iRadio as well. Of course, it is my first time to be on iRadio since I was born. So, greetings to all the listeners and the iRadio team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what does girl-child rights mean in the context of South Sudan and current social, looking at the social, cultural, and different barriers in general? How would you describe it or define it?
I would begin by saying South Sudan is part of the world, and South Sudan is not an exception to how the other part of the world understand the girl-child rights. So, in my opinion, girl-child rights are the privileges that are accorded to the girl-child. And those privileges do not just come out of blue, because they have the legal force that protects those rights. And when we talk about those rights, of course, the basic one that I can mention is right to education, right to life, and maybe say right to own a property. Just, by the way, before I go that, a girl child is like any other human being that is supposed to have some rights like any other person. So it's not something that people see it unique, but is just a normal thing, like the way others are supposed to be accorded other rights. That's how I understand in that context. Yeah.
And how do men really look at the importance of girl-child right, or how best can we really embrace or ensure that we really protect girl-child right?
We are living in a very complicated situation. That is in our context, South Sudan.
Yes.
But in other part of the world, of course, girls are given privileges. But now let me be more of our local context, that is South Sudan, to say. The girl child rights should be protected in a way that rights are given equally. What do I mean by that? Because in our societies currently, or even those days, privileges are given to more privileges are given to a boy child compared to the girl child. For example, when it comes to taking children to school, you find that the first priority is always given to a boy child, which is not something really that the current world is embracing. But we are saying for those rights to be respected accordingly, if you are taking your children to school, boys and girls should be taken to school all together. It should not be something where you take only the boy child and then you leave the girl child. So they are supposed to go to school because they are even the future of the country. When we talk about the youth are future, girls are inclusive. So girl child rights are supposed to be protected in that context. If it means education, they all go. It means how they call it, the property inheritance, like the boy child have the privilege. They should also do the same thing as well. So that's how I would say. But there's a way the cultural practices tend to be affecting a lot of things.
Yes.
And others said it is normal. According to them, they see it as something normal. But the current world does not see it as something normal. It is something that has to be worked on. If girls are supposed to go to school, they're supposed to go to school. If they're supposed to own property, that is the legal right. They are supposed to own those properties the way a boy child can own.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you really approach communities where violations against girl-child marriage, or let's say girl-child rights, are actually deeply rooted? How can these be addressed?
from our previous experience with the communities, what we do is we have a dialogue with them. We sit on a round discussion, and then, for you to deal with somebody, you need to make that person understand what are you really talking about. Let it really come from them, because we feel if we are the ones saying it, they will see something foreign, or maybe something has other attachment too. But let them understand, let them feel that this thing is something real that has to be, that has to be, it has to be owned by them. And if they own it, then they will understand. What we do in most cases, we talk with the community leadership. That means if there are leaders around, we can talk to the chiefs, we can talk to the elders. Let them first understand that the girl child has the right like any other human being that is existing. So let them not be excluded from other programs in the community. For example, the programs where a girl child is not allowed to sit in or not to take part in. If there's a discussion in the house, you find that the girl child does not really take part. So we are telling them that a girl child can contribute to the well-being of the family as well. So allow them to sit on the table, allow them to also make their opinion, allow them also, let them have the freedom of speaking to you. You'll be able to get something. So that's how we sit with them, we make them understand, and then when they understand, they will feel that they own the process. They will not see it something foreign, because, if you just come and speak something, somebody will say, this must be something different else. But when you make that person understand, at least it will come from him or her in that particular community.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring us about 25 minutes after the hour of 8. You're still listening to the Extended After Dawn program here on iRadio. It's now time to dial 0911 or 22-986-986 and do have your say or question to our guest in the studio. We're still talking about girl child rights. اتصل علينا وقدم تعليق بتاعك على 1122 986 وده بيجيبك في استديوهات هاي راديو في صباح اليوم، وهنرفع بعض من المكالمات والتعليقات في اتصال او تعليق بتاعك. ده حيجي بعد الفاصل، ما تمشي بعيد من الراديو بتاعك. صباح الخير.
iRadio, put your eye on South Sudan. iRadio, put your eye on South Sudan. iRadio.
نتاكم في جنوب السودان.
Good morning, it's iRadio.
This is iRadio. When contributing to a topic on the radio, please avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor-mongering or information that is regarded as hearsay.
It's the break of a new dawn.
Messages of unity
on
among the people
iRadio.
of
مرحبا بك مرة ثانية مستمع راديو في كل مكان. ده الوقت اللي فيه نرفع المكالمات. هلو راديو. نعم رجع تاني واتصل علينا على 1122 986 وده بيجيوك في استديوهات اي راديو في صباح اليوم. جاي 28 دقيقة بعد الساعة 8 في استديوهاتنا. هلو راديو. نعم منو معنا؟
It's the break of a new dawn, and this is the dawn on iRadio.
iRadio, put your eye on South Sudan. iRadio, put your eye on South Sudan.
مرحبا بك مرة ثانية مستمع راديو في كل مكان. هلو راديو.
يا اي راديو صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
Emmanuel, كيف
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Joel.
Joel.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I have a question to this guy. Because she's talking about the girl rights. Does she include also the girl dress?
Hmm?
قدر يعني لبس بتاعت البيت، هل من جزء من الحق بتاعت البيت؟ لأن أنا خليني أشرح شوية كده.
اتفضل.
عن بعض من البنات ممكن واحد بطلع في الشارع اللي هو بابليك، شارع عام، باللبس بتاع النوم، يعني عباد كده بيكون طالع برا. هل كمان ده جزء من الحق نحن ممكن نقبله في منطقتنا كده؟ لأنه لا. أما الحاجة الثانية، الناس بتتكلم في حقوق الواجبات بتاعتها، مثلا بعد ما هي بيجي. فأنا زمان وقت كنت قاعد أعمل في ماستر في ورقة صغير كده، أنا كنت كتبت قلت البنات زمان في السودان زمان أبويا أو بوديه مدرسة، بعد شوية بقى أخويا بقى بوديه مدرسة، بعد شوية هي براوي بقى بمشي مدرسة، بعد شوية بقى بقولوا أنت لو مشيت ما تلف مع ناس ثانيين. ما أنا ده جزء من حقوق، يعني كده نازل له حقوق عشان يقدر يعرف حقوق بتاعه. أما the other right that you talk about who يعني to be included in the family discussion, yes, if she is a girl she will sit and listen. لأن الراجل أساسا يعور راسي بتاعت البيت. يعني for example أنت لو خالد يعني خالتك يعني مثلا عمتك يعني لو زوجوها وانت ولد اخوه شالك انت صغير، هو بيهتم بك اكثر من اولاده وولده هي. Do you know that is why? Because she thinks that you are the higher, you are the head of their family. فالافضليه ما بدل الراجل باكثر بانه هذا كده، لكن بدل لانه هو يعني الحياه بتاعت البيت، يعني ارث بتاع البيت يعني بكون عنده بعدين. فالان في misuse with our rights. And then let us introduce also the rights to the girl with our culture. أيوة بثقافتنا، يعني ما ثقافة ثانية، يعني ما ثقافة اللي جايبين من برا. تكون ثقافة بتاعنا، لأن ثقافتنا في واجهات كثير بنت حقوق بتاعه، حتى أبو ممكن بدله كلامات بتاعه. كيف ممكن بعدين يمشي في البيت أو يمشي يعمل نفسه كيف عشان يشيل السمعة بتاعت البيت. لأن البيت أساسا بمشي زوجته ثاني. أما الولد بقبل في البيت، حتى لو بقى سكران بشرب مريسة ولا بقى شنو، ولد بقعد في البيت. لكن البيت بدله حقوق كويس كده عشان يقدر يحترم نفسه في البيت الثاني.
شكرا جزيلا. وشول طبعا ضيف بتاعنا في الاستوديو ممكن now Martin, I want you to comment and have your say in that regard. Yes.
That's a good observation from Shaul. And of course, let me begin from the last part that he said, there are those girls that can misuse. Yes, I don't deny that, because human being is a human being at the end of the day. Because any opportunity given to anyone, it depends on the way that person uses it. But otherwise, others can misuse it.
Yes.
Now, let me go to the where it begins from. That girls dressing code, something like that, right? Like they dress
dress code.
They call it, is it night clothes? Personally, it depends. If it is particularly night or evening hours, somebody's, you are coming from work, or you have been working at home and you shout, it's a normal thing.
Yes.
You can dress like normal thing, then you leave at the house. Yes. And also number two, if you also dress and then you are going to the shop, most cases, I've seen women, what I've seen, let me speak from what I know. Most cases, these girls, when they're going outside the house, even the night dress, they call it the night dress, yes? I think that's what he was trying to mean. So they don't use it as to go to the shop. They must get something decent. And they don't use, unless in a situation where, of course, they are, the level of information in the rural setting is not the same as to town. So people might not be informed as what is the night dress and what is the different and what is the way it's supposed to be used. But mostly nowadays in town, if these girls are moving out, they're able to get another cloth and then they go to the nearby shop. But of course, the parents, you have to also do your part. As he said, you keep on guiding these girls. So it also depends. If a girl that is maybe below the age of 18, that is legally seen to be somebody who's young, then you can keep on guiding that person. Not only even being young, even some of us at this age, we are still being also guided by friends and the friends and the parents and the people commonly around you. We are still also receiving those advices. So which means human being is not at a perfect position at any point. You keep on learning, you relearn, you learn as you move on with the life.
Right.
So that's what I would say in that regard.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring us about 27 minutes now to the top of the hour. We continue to pick few calls on 0911 or 22986 or preferably you can send a text to 13986 whatever you work في استديوهات اي راديو. لسه بنتكلم في موضوع بتاع تعليم البنات، وده طبعا الحق من أحقية بتاعت البنات إن هم يفضلوا في الدراسة أو في المدرسة، وده جزء لا يتجزأ من الحق بتاعهم.
إنتكم في جنوب السودان.
Right, welcome back from the break. iRadio.
Halo, صباح الخير.
صباح النور. معنا منو؟
هذا يوانس في نياكورن.
يونس من ياكورن، تفضل.
أي. أنت بتكلم قال شايل. هلو.
نعم نعم.
حق بتاع أطفال. حق بتاع أطفال. إن لما الإنسان يجيب الأطفال لابد كيف يعلمها على الطبيعة، يعني كيف تتصرف في حياة بتاعه وكيف يتكلم غير من المجتمع بتاعه. لما يمشي مدرسة كمان يقعد مع الزملاء بتاعه كيف يعني يعوروا بعض وكيف يتفاهموا البعض. حق بتاع الشغل إنه لابد شنو يلا
Alright, معلش يونس فقدناك في الخط هناك، لكن يونس was asking about the issue of schools, and then he also talked about people with special needs in general, especially we look at the girls. Yes.
Well, I think in our context as South Sudan is something that I would say is a bit challenging currently as we speak, because the schools are not really favoring people with special needs, or nowadays they say people living with disabilities. Yes. So the schools nowadays currently they are not really favoring these people, but in other parts of the world the schools are designed where everybody is accommodated, whether being a girl child with disabilities or a boy child with disabilities, you are able to access the school and you are able to access the services as the way they are supposed to be. But to be more of a practical and realistic, I think I've seen one is my colleague who were with him at the campus level, and of course though those equipment are not there, but there's really a way they could handle them. So yes, again I can use this platform to appeal to the leadership of the country and maybe to the well-wishers that please, if there's a way we can help our people with special needs, then let us do so. If it means purchasing those equipment that they use, then let us do so, because it is very important and they are part of us and they are part of our communities. So I use this opportunity to ask anybody, if you see any school that is whether the university level or the secondary school or the college or whatever it is, or an institute, and you have at least, of course it might be hard, but try your best to make sure that if you can provide those machines, some of them they use for typing, others they use for even means of movement. So they should also be given those kind of materials and those supports as well.
Right. We continue to pick calls. iRadio?
Yes, good morning, Emmanuel and your guest.
Yes, good morning.
This is Henry from Nyakuron West.
Henry from Nyakuron West, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the topic. I just want to highlight something concerning the rights of girls with disabilities, or what someone calls special needs. First of all, I would say, in general, yes, girls have rights, but of course, as the guests put it in the studio, we are emerging from a situation. Actually, the issue of women's rights isn't just an issue of South Sudan or Africa. Globally, women or girls used to be behind men. So it's something that we need to recognize, because it's not just a South Sudanese thing or an African thing, but of course the rest of the world now has moved. And so I just want to say that for girls with disabilities, it's really more. So I am an expert in the field of inclusion, and actually I'm a person with disability myself. What tends to happen is that for girls, if they have disabilities, they are actually more marginalized than boys with disabilities, but also than girls without disabilities. So there are several studies out there that prove that. So beyond the issue that the guest has already highlighted, the issue of accessibility, there is even a more problematic issue in society, which is attitudes. So because of negative perceptions, because of lack of awareness about persons with disabilities, both men and women, but in this case for girls, it is even worse, because one, they are perceived as less important or less able. I do conduct trainings and I do move around the country, and what I found out is that in other places, even if a girl, first of all, it's difficult when it comes to marriage. It's either they are, given away to anyone without their consent, because there are men who would believe that because no one's going to love this girl, it should be upon him or upon the family to decide who to marry. And in most cases, they end up being abused, and so they just give birth, and they don't actually, have their families, right? So it's a whole lot of issues that requires a change of mindset, right? So I know because of time, I might stop there, but I just wanted to highlight that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for bringing this, and also made a brief explanation about all of it. It's I want you to now to Martin, you can comment or have your say in that.
Henry has really given an input. Of course, is a concern to all, I know. And let me give from the legal point of view. You look at our constitution, that is the 2011 as amended. Article 16, subsection 1 to 4. Rights, it provides rights of the women. And when they talk about right of the women, it means including people with disabilities. They are part of the society. So that article details, for example, the right to participate in public affairs. They did not really make it clear whether people with disabilities are excluded or not. But the interpretation should be all of us, whether you have the disability or you don't have, we are supposed to participate in public affairs of our country. But the most challenging thing is the practical situation in our country. The practical situation in our country is not really in line with what is being detailed by the law. For example, if you say participation of all in the public affairs, so why at certain level, why do you exclude others? This is my personal reasoning. So if all of us are supposed to participate in the public matters, then we are supposed to participate regardless of our genders, regardless of our situation that we go through, whether being a person with disability and other people. We are supposed to participate collectively as South Sudanese. So, which means if we join hands, we'll be able to work for the betterment of our country as citizens of this country.
Right.
So that's what I would say in that regard.
Alright. بيجيبنا لحوالي ربع ساعة لرأس الساعة، الوقت اللي فيه نواصل ونرفع المكالمات على 11 أو 22 986 وهذا بيجيبك في استديوهات آي راديو. احنا لسه في زمن بتاع تمديد الفقرة بتاع البرنامج الدون في صباح اليوم. Someone is saying every youth in the country deserve to build his pride, life with parents and also partners. We are going through a lot as men. And he's talking about the challenges facing men. What would you say? Men for Women organization.
Yeah, men going through a lot. And for us as an institution, Men for Women, we normally have a session with the men. and we use it. We call it men talk. Men talk. We bring a group of young people together. We sit with them. We talk. We interact. We say, what are those things that really affect men in our societies? And of course, there is this practice where men, if you put them alone, they are able to open up. They are able to discuss, and they are able to give the way forward. So we normally have these sessions, and I think we'll be in the next maybe 2 weeks from now. We'll be having session with men in Mangala, in Luri, in Kondokoro, in Rajab, particularly men. We are dealing with men. So we sit, including some of my colleagues that are not here. We ask you, what are those things that really men feel like they are going through, but they are not able to share with anybody? So we sit together, we interact. We call it a men talk. So we are only men in that discussion. So we talk, and we'll be able to get the solution to the challenges that we go through. For example, the common thing with men nowadays is that these people are really, they hardly speak out to whatever. Men. They really make sure that they don't tell the others what they go through. But I think in life it is very important, share whatever that you are going through, and then maybe on the process you will be able to get a solution or maybe a support.
Yes.
But now if you keep it for yourself, and I'm hearing from scientists that nowadays that's the reason why men die at the early stage. I don't have evidence to prove that, but that's what I hear from them, that men keep a lot of things for themselves. So it is very important for us men, let us have a way we can speak to one another. Whatever that you go through, and whatever that the society sees is that men should not talk about it. Because, for example, I come from a society where they say men are not supposed to cry. And really, if you see men, what they go through, do you really say somebody is not supposed to cry? If it means that you can cry, you cry, and then the stress or maybe the pressure will at least reduce. So that's what I would say. But we are doing our best in our small capacities we can.
Right. And women sometimes also look at men as an issue when it comes to opening up. Like, is it important, or is it necessary for men to open up to women, or it's like should be men opening up to men, like talking, like if you have an issue or something like that?
In my opinion, it depends. The situation may also, because there are some of us who are good at, I tell you, Akile, then in the next maybe 1 hour, the whole area will know what we have discussed.
Yes.
I think people like that you cannot be able to tell them.
To trust.
But because you need to also know the person that you are telling what you are going through. If it's the kind of person that you tell the information now, in the next 30 minutes the whole area is known, I would advise you, please don't do so. It does not matter whatever gender it is. But there are girls really also that can help, that when you're sharing something, you must also know the other person very well. So these girls, they are very good, and if you can tell them what you go through, I think they will be able to provide the way forward to your situation. As well as men also. If you see there are some men that you tell them, in the next few minutes, it has become the matter of public discussion. So you also need to know. And then if you know these men that are good, tell them, and then they will be able to help you in that regard and find a way through. But in a summary form, it's a matter of understanding who you are telling your situation to before you just tell it to anybody. First know the person. If that kind of person is good, then you can tell anybody. Yeah.
Right, bringing us about 12 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's continue to pick a few calls on 0911 or 22986 We're talking about girl-child rights. My guest in the studio is Martin Maluk, male champion from Men for Women organization. دلوقتي لسه تواصل نرفع المكالمات. اتصل علينا على 11 أو 22 986 986 وأنا بجيبك في استديوهات راديو في صباح اليوم. Hello radio.
Radio.
Yes.
Yeah. Morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, you are connected with Noti from Nangmangi.
Noti. Yes, welcome.
Yeah, not from Yambio.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for our program. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Let me go through to our discussion point.
Yes. Oh, sorry there. We lost you on the line. Revert back to us on the same line. Hi, radio. Alright, تتصل علينا تاني على 11 986 986 وده بيجيبك في استديوهات راديو في صباح اليوم. صباح الخير.
Locked on to the eye of South Sudan, and it's a brand new dawn.
إنتكم في جنوب السودان.
It's the break of a new dawn, and this is the dawn on iRadio.
نعم، مرحبا بك مرة ثانية مستمع راديو في كل مكان. نرفع المكالمات. هلو راديو.
صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
معكم عادل من واو. زمن طويل يا إيمانويل.
هاتي من واو، تفضل. زمن طويل.
أول حاجة أنا بقول كل سنة وعنينا بألف خير وألف سعادة، ونتمنى سنة جديد لأهلنا الجنوبيين وسنة سعيد لنا كلنا. أول حاجة يا إيمانويل أننا نتكلم في الموضوع بتاع تعليم البنات. التعليم البنات ده يعني حاجة كويس جدا جدا، لكن الناس أننا ما بنكسر أسرة، يعني أننا بنقرب بنات براني. يعني الليلة عشان نرشد بكتير، نرشده عن تعليمه وعن مدرسته وعن حاجات. يعني لو شفت جبت قلت ولا حاجة كعب، لو زول بعيد أما زول قريب أما جيران أما أخو أما شنو، وإذا قال من البيت يعني الناس بيت زادوا بنظروا الزول الجاي يتكلم عن حاجة الكعب البيت ده بعمله عشان يقدروا يقول له يا أخي يا بكي ترى تعمل بس كده قلت، افترض أنت عمرك بس تغير، أنت لازم تاخد بالك في مدرسة بتاعك، يا أخي أنت لازم تواصل تعليمك. حتى مع منظمات ما بتصرف، حتى بنات ذاتها بتصرفون قروش في المدرسة عشان يقول يا أخي بيت مثلا ما عنده كراس، يا أخي بيمشي بقلب المدرسة ولا ما عنده قلم ولا ما عنده شنو، ولا أساسا هو ما عنده حاجة بدعموه في بيت عشان يقدر يقرأ ولا كده. لا بناتنا ذاتهم هم اللي بيقوا راجع، يعني في بيكون الفارق أكثر من التعليم. يعني 50% ولا 40% يعود اللي كنتوا بالهم بالتدريس والدراسة والحياة العناية، والباقيين ده زي 60 ولا 70% ده يعني كله يدل على فرقة ثانية ذاته بتاع شنو بتاع كلام فارغ. يعني أنت بتلقى عندك صديقك لكن ده ما صديق الحياة اللي يدلك لحياة الكويس، تلقى صديقك سوء، يعني صديقك يوديك دائما في أفعال الشيء لأنه عارف نفسه شنو هو كرب فلاش، يعني بيدلك على طريقه ده عشان أنت ذاتك ما تستفيد. لكن أنينا بنرجع أخواتنا وبناتنا، يعني واحد أنت لما تلقى صديق الكاف اللي بيدلك لأفعال الشيء طوال يقول له يا أختي لا شعري بتاعك اللي أنت ماشي فوقه ده شعري ده كاف، أنت لازم تمشي في شعري كده وكده وكده، لازم تاخد بالك في المدرسة لأنه الأسرة بتاعنا محتاج لنا ومحتاج أننا ذات نتعلمه عشان مننا ممكن نطلع في محامين في صعادين طيران في مهندسين في شنو، أننا ده ممكن نطلع حاجة كثير لأنه أنا قاعد نسمع قاعد نسوان عندهم 25% واحتمال يزيدوا لنا أننا نكون ممكن بالذات يكون رئيس دولة. يعني مشكلة ما فوق مشكلة لو في تعليم كويس. وشكرا درس عن كده أخواتي البنات.
Alright, شكرا لك. شكرا جزيلا للمشاركة بتاعك. Martin, I want you to comment on what he was saying, especially a piece of advice to girls outside there.
Yeah, I think I also got it, maybe unless I also get it wrong, but I feel it was also giving an advice to the girl child. And of course I will maybe just add on what he said. As much as we fight for opportunities to be given to girls or the girl child rights to be implemented, we are also asking girls, please let us not misuse these opportunities that are given to us. Once you get, that's your right, you should also not misuse it in a way that it even damages your own integrity and the entire family. Let us also be people that reasons. And I also ask them, please, if there's a way, try to also protect your integrity at your own before any other person comes in. And maybe the other thing that I can also add is that some of the girls really knows their rights, and there are those one who do not know. And of course, this is a journey. I would say it is a journey that people are going to be engaged in very many programs. So I feel as we move on the way, some of them who do not know their rights will be able to know, and those one who know, please again, let us use our right in a very reasonable manner, or let us fight for our rights in a very reasonable manner. Yeah.
Right, and before we wind up, what would be your last message, especially when we talk about the importance of girl-child marriage, Martin?
The girl child, once their rights are really implemented, it allows them to meet or to reach their potentials. So what do I mean by that? If a girl child rights really are respected, girls will be able to go to school, for example, and will be able to obtain the highest certificate academically in the world of education. What do I mean by that? They will become professionals. Some of them will become lawyers. Others will become doctors. Others will become as engineers. Others will become other professions that are there in the world. So let us treat girl child like the boy child together. Let them have the same opportunities in that regard. So that's what I would add in that regard.
Right. Male champion for Men for Women organization, Martin Maluk, thank you very much for joining us on the extended hour of the Dawn today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and it's my pleasure to be on this platform, I think, for the first time.
Right.
Maybe if time allows another discussion to come, we'll be meeting the same studio, the same station again.
Hopefully we'll have you again. Indeed. Bring us about a few minutes now to the top of the hour. Up next is Soundtrack Show with Dico Di Andrew on behalf of the Dawn team. Once again, this is the extended hour of the Dawn edition. I leave you with a song, Child Marriage, coming to you from DJ Cent.